Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, welcome back to Casual Conversation with GNA.
Yes, we're here with Conversation 49 Antarctica.
So we're kind of like a little sad because we were just talking for like 23 minutes
Yeah.
and
We
there was no
thought,
audio.
yeah, there was no audio and it was a really good and productive conversation and no one can hear it. So now we're here trying again.
But that's what happens, right? This is part of life.
Yep. So you
And
just
it's
work with it.
late, so I do apologize, but we were trying to hang out a little bit here. So if you guys want to come on, I'm going to put the
link.
Yeah, the link.
So
Invite you
yeah,
guys.
so whoever wants to join and chat with us.
What's this?
I don't know what's going on. So yeah, whoever wants to join and chat with us, just know that you can. So the link will be up in the comment section, and feel free if there's something you want to share. Yeah, you feel free to join us. So yeah, we decided to do the Antarctica topic because, we're in winter right now, so it just felt like a good time to get this topic started.
But Eileen kind of has been wanting to do this for a bit. So
yeah, I feel like, it's like I just saw like a TikTok on it and I'm like, oh, that'd be pretty interesting, because it's not something that's talked about often. And yeah, I feel like there's a little mystery to it. And I feel like that mystery draws people into, like trying to understand, create theories. We're talking about like the South Pole, the bottom of Earth. So I feel like.
So it's in the bottom, not on the top?
Yeah, it's in the bottom.
So what's on top?
North Pole. Yeah, so I feel like the fact that's, in the bottom of Earth, I feel like it makes it more interesting for
That
people.
sounds very cold.
Yeah, it does. Because think about it. There's not a lot of sunlight going on.
Wait, so then
area.
the northern lights aren't up down there?
No, northern lights are in the north. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so good thing that audio,
Yes. Good thing our audio didn't work. But okay, so Eileen's going to talk about it a little bit. And then if you guys want to join, you're more than welcome. We can talk.
Yeah.
So
just, some basic facts about Antarctica. It's the southernmost continent and site of the South Pole. It is virtually uninhabited and it's an ice-covered landmass. So it is the world's highest, driest, windiest, coldest, and iciest continent. Antarctica is about 5.5 million square miles, and thick ice covers about 98% of the land. 52 nations have come together to enforce travel restrictions on Antarctica. It's called the Arctic Treaty.
Well, that's shady.
Yeah, it's different.
We fight about everything else except the Arctic.
They're like, hey, let's all create peace with that. Interesting. So I feel like, that kind of adds more to the interest for theorists.
Yeah, some of the reasons why. Okay, so this is what I heard. Some of the reasons why is because they don't know who discovered it, right? That it's like, yeah, maybe I know I did like pointing fingers, right? So I think that that's the reason why they decided to be like, okay, how about let's just all be friends and we can all study it together and we can all explore it and do some scientific research and we can all be friends while we're doing it.
Wouldn't that be nice for everything else, right? If
exactly
things were peaceful like that.
We're always on like the edge of our seats waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
But so the Arctic is an interesting place because there's a lot of conspiracies to what's going on there.
Yeah.
Why are the nations so protective of it? What has been going on? Is there a secret base? Is there alien activity?
Yeah.
Why is there, what is it, magnetic fields happening?
Yeah, because let me be honest, okay? I didn't know anything about like these theories in the first place until I saw it on a TikTok. And I
Mhm.
was like, what? I didn't even like think about it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like Antarctica. So I'm like, well, that'd be an interesting, conversation topic.
Mhm.
Because at the same time, we're learning new things that we didn't know before, so yeah, I feel like it's a decent topic.
Yeah. So let's talk. Do you want to get into some of the conspiracies?
Yeah. Well, this one it's pretty cool because it kind of has a list. So
So you can mention them, and I'll just add on.
yes. So let me go to that list then. I hope I got the right one. It's not the right one. Okay, so one of them is like microorganisms, right? Cold loving microorganisms, which I feel like there is, right? There would be.
Exactly.
There's
Yeah, I think organisms are everywhere,
yeah.
but they found
New
microbes.
new type of bacteria,
Yeah,
right?
that is unknown, I guess, and that they're trying to study and trying to figure out how it lives in give the given circumstances.
Yeah, I just
They
felt
found
like
like this weird, like blob looking creature. Like it looks like just like little blob, and it's alive and it moves. And so they tried to study that and see what it is. Which is pretty interesting that there's like little things like that happening. But I mean, come on, guys, the earth, what is it? The ocean hasn't been really.
discovered. Yeah, and that's one
Yes.
of the points I was gonna bring up, that they find new creatures every year. So
So you're not impressed.
yeah, I'm not surprised that they would find organisms. Let's get into another one. Greenhouse and other gases. Oh, nuclear energy, right? So this is what, according to a blogger, researchers and defense personnel alike were evacuated from the region because they had accidentally been exposed to radioactivity. The apparent sudden shortage of iodine tablets on the continent, which explorers take to protect themselves from the effects of nuclear energy.
Why? Where is it coming from?
Yeah, so I thought that
Why
was
would
interesting.
there be nuclear energy?
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting one, like nuclear energy, okay. And then another theory is that there is that is the final resting place for Plato's Atlantis. Lake Vostok is a strong contender, with conspiracy theorists, novelists, and university professors alike allegedly claiming that the tectonic shifts caused Atlantis to relocate to the South Pole. So, yeah, that's one of the theories.
I mean, okay. So let's get into that theory because I find that very interesting because all these scientists have been trying to figure out where is Atlantis.
Yeah.
And so Atlantis is this magical city, right? That disappeared underwater, I believe. But they say that Atlantis had this technology that is not known to men, right? Um, they and it's believable. Hi,
Hi.
Chaos. Um, if you want to join us, you can come on. Okay. And so I don't know, like I just feel like it's a possibility. Um, I wanted to kind of get into the whole Bob Lazar situation with
Mhm.
the crafts, right?
I mean, that's kind of where I was gonna.
Okay, go for it. And then we'll talk
So,
about the crafts.
so another one of the theories is UFO landing site, right? So it says the theory is that it was a landing site for UFOs, and that aliens continue to live underneath the ice remains of one of the most popular conspiracy theories about Antarctica in general and Lake Vostok in particular, especially because of the presence of a magnetic anomaly under the lake.
Here we go again with the magnetic stuff.
So and to add to that, relics from Area 51, saying that conspiracists for years have believed that the isolation of Antarctica is a perfect place to house the UFO and alien aircrafts the government allegedly has in its possession.
Okay, so back to the Bob Lazar situation, like I was saying, because he mentioned that the spacecrafts that they were working on were excavated crafts, okay, that they found him from thousands of years ago. And they were trying to figure out in this S4 Area 51 type place that how this technology was being used in these crafts. But he said that he heard somebody saying that these were excavated crafts and that they were kind of thousands of years old, right?
Yeah.
So what else, where else? And I think my theory is that if they were excavated, that they were excavated from the Arctic because of how well preserved they were. And they were in a condition where they still were in working state. So, and they've not only they've found different creatures that like fossils, things in the Arctic that were buried, and they found them. So that's definitely a possibility, that there could be some excavations of UFOs and crafts.
Yeah, and one of the other possibilities is that there's nothing. That there's nothing there, that it's been sealed off from the world, and scientists believe that the amount of oxygen in the lake is 10 to 20 times more than anywhere else on Earth. While this may sound like perfect conditions for a super being to evolve, some experts say it's too much oxygen, that it could actually be toxic to life. So that's another possibility. There might be nothing.
No, because why is it okay for the little penguins?
Oh, for the little penguins to live there?
Yes. So, okay. So since we're talking about, logical thoughts and logical explanations.
I found the list.
Okay. So I'm thinking this is what the science says, right? That this place is so precious because it holds a lot of life that needs to be preserved, including mammals, including water like animals, including moss. And so this is one of the reasons why it's so restricted, and they don't want people or visitors to be part of the destruction, or part of making something disappear or become extinct because of the traffic or because of the contamination that we might provide to the area. Understandably, yeah. I understand that, that we're trying to preserve things that are rare that we don't have enough of, but it's still weird. It still leaves room for conspiracy theories.
I mean, you got to save them polar bears and the Arctic
penguins,
foxes,
sea lions.
Yeah. So another interesting one is underground lakes. I didn't know about this. So apparently they first uncovered in the 1970s with radars that there's actually 400 lakes sitting under 3 kilometers of ice in the regions that were explored in Antarctica. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Scientists believe the lakes formed after the separation of Antarctica to Gondwanaland, the ancient supercontinent. The lakes don't freeze because of the pressure from the weight of the ice sheet. So one of the big ones is Lake Vostok, discovered in 1990s by Russian scientists, the largest subglacial lake in Antarctica, also the third largest lake by volume in the world, lying 3.5 kilometers below ice. Scientists have drilled deep holes into the ice to extract a sample of the lake water. And one sample showed the water to be around -3 degrees Celsius, despite being covered by ice for over 20 million years ago. Interesting, interesting. So I guess in 2014, there was a major breakthrough at Lake Willens, discovering a diverse and active ecosystem of microorganisms that live in the lake nearly a kilometer under the ice sheet. So incredible species have been seeing fresh air or sunlight for millions of years, yet they flourish using methane and ammonium as energy to grow. What do you think about that one?
I want to know what's in those lakes.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Other than microbes. What if they're like killer microbes? Okay.
Oh, blood falls, right?
Okay, the blood falls, but I wanted to talk about the pyramids. Do you have anything on the pyramids?
No.
Because, okay, I'm going to tell you guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
Built by an ancient and powerful race and hidden under the ice, every now and then, one of them pokes out and accidentally somebody photographs the pyramids. But at the time, when everyone looks again, the snow has heaped over it and it disappears from view. Also, some mountains look a bit like pyramids. So the pyramid theory is interesting because of how could Atlantis have pyramids?
Okay.
Oh, cool. Thanks for stopping by, Jeff.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Yeah. So if there is pyramids, there's even been movies, right, that hint towards pyramids being underneath the ice. I wouldn't be surprised if they did find a pyramid. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen the pictures. I've seen people post stuff about structures that look like pyramids, that are allegedly like hidden or like buried under the Arctic, which is pretty cool. Like,
yeah,
it's
a pretty interesting
definitely a possibility.
So you want me to kind of go through the list?
Yeah.
So yeah, like we mentioned, the underground lakes, which we talked about, pretty interesting in my opinion. Blood falls, we'll get into that one. Unusual creatures, we already talked about that, right? Microorganisms. Ancient fossils,
which we talked a little bit about it, that they found like dinosaur fossils,
animal fossils,
right?
Like
different creatures.
So that it could be a giant hole, and I feel like, there's radioactivity there, nuclear energy, giant hole, there is Antarctic fungi, right? Ancient meteorites and aliens, which, we already talked about, right? And the lost city. So which one did you say you want to get into? I
just don't like the energy part. Why is there like strange. Why?
That's strange, huh?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? So the blood falls, did you want to get into that?
Yeah, go into the blood falls.
So in the McMurdo Dry Valley, there is a bright crimson 5-story waterfall that pours out of Taylor Glacier into Lake Bonny, and it looks like a gush of blood from a wound in the ice. But scientists have recently discovered that the cause behind this mysterious phenomenon, the water that bleeds in blood falls, was once a salty lake that is now cut off from the atmosphere due to the formation of glaciers on top of the lake. The water is preserved 400 meters underground and has become even saltier over time. So it's now 3 times saltier than seawater, and it cannot freeze. The salt water is extremely rich in iron and completely devoid of oxygen and sunlight. As the iron-rich water steeps through the fissure of the glacier and becomes in contact with air, the iron oxidizes and rusts, staining the water a dark red color. This eerie site is only accessible by helicopter or cruise ships visiting the Ross Sea. So what do you think about that?
It looks pretty weird. Have you seen it?
No, but I'm looking at the picture.
Yeah, it's like red, like
on?
it looks like lava. It's weird.
Yeah, that's like what's going on right there. Let me see what so this one was like singing ice is what they said, that you can hear like some eerie sounds. So, you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
So a massive slab of ice in Antarctica is singing. The Ross Ice Shelf is the largest ice shelf in Antarctica. It's several hundred meters thick and covers an area over 500,000 square kilometers, around the size of France. Scientists have recently discovered that the Ross Ice Shelf sings an eerie melody caused by the winds blowing across the snow dunes. The winds create surface vibrations and almost non-stop seismic tones. The vibrations aren't audible to human ears, and scientists use seismic sensors to listen to the mournful tune. The song was discovered by accident after seismic sensors were installed on the ice shelf to observe other behaviors. Scientists have since discovered that the song changes in response to the environment, such as melting or storms shifting the snow. Now they're using the song as a tool to monitor the ice shelf in real time, tracking its stability and vulnerability for collapse through the seismic humming. Interesting, huh?
So it's usually because of the winds, right?
Yeah.
The high winds.
Mm-hmm. Which you can hear, right? Like
Yeah.
when you're like out, you can hear like the wind whistles, things like that.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the Arctic Treaty. So the treaty that all the nations have. And so this is basically what it is. Stipulates that Antarctica should be used exclusively for peaceful purposes. So no military testing or anything like that. Okay, if they're trying to preserve it, that makes sense, right? If there's cute little animals living there, you don't want to like destroy that. Guarantees continued freedom to conduct scientific research as enjoyed during the IGY, which is, I don't know what that is. Promotes international scientific cooperation, including the exchange of research plans and personnel, and requires that results of research be made freely available, which is good because everybody wants to know what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
And if they find something interesting, do you think they'll let us know? Okay. Sets aside a potential for sobriety. Is that how you say that?
Sovereignty.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. English major. Disputes between treaty parties by providing that no activities will enhance or diminish previously asserted positions with respect to territorial claims, that provides no new or enlarged claims that can be made. Okay, whatever that is. Prohibitions of nuclear explosions and radioactive waste. Provides for inspection of observers designed by any party or ship, stations, and equipment. Requires parties to give advance notice of their expeditions. Provides for the parties to meet periodically to discuss measures to further objectives of the treaty, and puts in place a dispute settlement produced and mechanism by which the treaty can be modified. So there you go. Some of the reasons. So this is some of the reasons why they're protecting it. So protection of the Arctic environment, conservation of plants and animals, preservation of historic sites. What historic site?
The lakes.
This designation and management of protected areas, management of tourism, information exchange, collection of meteorological data, and hydrographic charting, logistics, cooperation, communications, and safety. So basically what they're trying to say is that they're trying to protect the environment since it is melting, the ice caps are melting, and they want to make sure that we don't further destroy what's, what's there. With that being said, there's room for a lot of shady situations, discoveries if they do find anything that could be UFO related. I don't think that they would tell us because we already saw that they didn't tell us anything with the UFO release. Yeah. So, but I think that there's a large probability that there's something there, that there could be a UFO base, right? Because that's one of the other theories, that there could be maybe something to do with the Nazi, when they were trying to leave and go to the Arctic and use that as a hiding place. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the Arctic? Is that something? Is it nothing? Is there something? Is it?
What would you say?
Yeah, because like I said, there's a lot of room for conspiracies, right?
Yeah, because of the fact that it's unexplored. I don't know, man. I kind of feel like there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's super cold. I don't know. Bunch of snow. I mean, the lakes are interesting and there's mountains, but even if there was, we would never know.
Unless you go yourself and you see it.
Yeah. Scientists are the ones who know, right? Scientists who have been there to do research.
I don't know if I would want to be there as a scientist. I'd be like, man, it's cold.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So if anybody is an Arctic expert, please let us know so we can interview you. But
yeah, it'd be interesting.
But I think that's all we have. If anybody has any questions, let us know. We appreciate everybody that, that commented and listens. And yeah, so let us know if you guys have any other things that you guys would want, like topics that you guys would want us to talk about. We would be glad to get into that and then maybe have a few other guests come on. But yeah, that's all we have for you guys today. And we appreciate you being here, and hopefully we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.